Welcome back to the game. Breaking news. Battlefield 2042 has released their second trailer. This is a gameplay trailer. First we had a cinematic trailer. That was a lot of action-packed cinematics, not actual gameplay, so they followed it up with what is actual in-game footage that we're seeing here. And I gotta say, the vehicles look great. The maps are big. It looks like there's gonna be a lot of action. That's all looking good. Alright, that's an improvement from Battlefield 5 where the vehicles weren't all there. You don't have the helicopters interacting with the ground vehicles, interacting with the jets and everything, air to ground to air to just chaos everywhere. You know what I'm saying? With all these different vehicles, it looks like a whole lot of fun. We had two trailers here, and there is something that is really missing that is a huge part of what makes Battlefield that I'm not seeing once in any of these trailers, and that is structural destruction. What that means is walls, buildings, stuff like that being able to be blown apart. We have that in Battlefield 5, alright? They stepped it up in that department in Battlefield 5. That was the one thing that they really nailed there. So you expect that to be carried over, and we don't see it here yet. At least I'm not saying it's not going to be in it, but we haven't seen it in two trailers now. Battlefield usually makes a point to show these things in their trailers. They're trying to show you what's going to be in the game. Even in the cinematic trailers, if you go back to Battlefield 5, they're showing you in the cinematics and the gameplay that, hey, we have destruction. We are Battlefield, and we have something that Call of Duty doesn't have. Roofs being able to be blown up and the rubble falling on your enemies and causing damage like it does in Battlefield 5. We don't see one wall being torn up. We don't see one building being ripped apart. In every past Battlefield trailer, they make a point to at least once show a wall getting blown up, a tank in Battlefield 5 going through a building. In Battlefield 1, you got the windmill being blown up. In Battlefield 4, you got buildings being torn up. In Battlefield 3, at least the wall being blown up. In Battlefield Bad Company 2, you got a little wall being blown up. How do you not once show that this game is going to have destruction in one way or another? Sure, we have some things being blown up. There's explosions all over the place, but I'm talking about detailed structural destruction. That's different than just a vehicle being blown up. That's in pretty much every game. Vehicles blow up. Okay, that's commonplace. But what you don't see in a lot of games is a RPG hitting a wall and busting a hole right through it, and then you can start shooting at the dude on the other side of it. In Call of Duty, the RPG usually hits the wall and doesn't destroy it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to see Battlefield taking a step in the direction of Call of Duty and forgetting about their destruction capabilities. This game is giving me a little bit of a Warzone vibe. Maybe they're trying to step in that direction, and Warzone was so successful, maybe they think, hey, that's the way to go. And we tried the destruction route in Battlefield 5. That didn't really work out for us. The fans weren't a fan of it, but it wasn't because of the destruction. Fans weren't happy with Battlefield 5 because you didn't have the vehicle variety. So now that you have the vehicle variety and you're expanding the map, making it bigger, that's a step in the right direction, but don't forget about the destruction. Now, maybe they just aren't putting it in the trailer and it's going to be there, but how do you not show one wall or building getting torn up in two trailers? It doesn't make any sense to me. Either you don't know how to promote your game right, or you don't have it in there. So we do see a street sign here and there getting knocked over. You see a sign falling. You see that red wall being pulled down by hooks or something like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about bullets going through walls. I'm talking about apple core buildings, meaning like we see in Battlefield 5. How can you not show that once if it's in your game? That is what's going to sell copies. That's what set Battlefield apart from other games like Call of Duty. Detailed destruction, guys. Structural destruction. That changes everything, man. Not only is it cool to look at, but that's also part of the strategy of the game. If there's a sniper up in a tower, you can shoot an RPG at the roof and have the rubble crumble down on top of them like in Battlefield 5 you could do. So it's very important. It's not just going to make your game look good, but it's going to add so much to the gameplay as well. They're doubling the player count. Hopefully that's not causing too much resources resources to be sucked up and not leaving enough gigabytes, I don't know what you want to call it, going into the destruction detail. I'm really hoping they're not taking a step back there this time. Hope it's not, 2 steps forward and 1 step back for them. Sure, it's going to be a decent game, yes, but let's move everything in the right direction. You can tell they make it a point to show that destruction, and now for the first time in I don't know how long, they're not going to show that at all, unless they're trying to show you that with the sign falling down. That could just be a exterior thing that could be scripted. So we got tornadoes ripping through the scene and everything, and can't show us one building getting torn apart by it like we have in all the Battlefield games. There's got to be some destruction in there. I'm just not sure it's going to be as detailed as the previous game, Battlefield 5. Did they forget to show us? Or are they trying to divert our attention to things in the game that are going to be strengths, like vehicle variety and all that we're seeing? And if there's not as much destruction, maybe they don't want to highlight that. They don't want to have our attention drawn to that. Just for, maybe they're wanting us to forget about the destruction because maybe they've forgot about the destruction as well. And that's not good, man. That's not a good sign. We see a whole lot of explosions here, and you can't show one building getting torn up by it. It just makes no sense to me. So I'm going to keep my eyes peeled at EA Play on July 22nd and maybe add it. I don't know. This is what alpha gameplay. Maybe they don't have the destruction physics added in at this point, but it seems like they definitely should by this point. You got to. All these other trailers in the past have had the destruction there. I think there's still a chance that it could be there. Even if it's not put into the game yet, you could have added it to your cinematic at least, saying we're working on it still, but we're going to get that detailed destruction in there. Buildings crumbling and everything else like that. Speaking of buildings crumbling, at EA Play in the past, that was one of the first things they showed was a very early build of Battlefield. They're saying, hey, look, we're going to be pushing destruction to the next level, this and that. They were talking about it way back then, but now when the time comes to show it off, it ain't there. How do you do that? Saying this is important to us and then you don't show it to us now for 2 trailers? What? I'm just so confused. Like, a lot of people I don't think notice it. Maybe that's why, but after they watch this trailer a couple hundred more times, I think maybe they'll say, you know what, yeah, something is missing here. But right now they're distracted with the jets flying around, the new weapons, all the other flashy stuff. That's going to be great. Don't get me wrong. You got to have that stuff in there. But these little details really make a big difference, guys. I'm telling you. That's why a lot of people stay true to the Battlefield franchise over Call of Duty, because it's in the details, the destruction, this and that. You don't get that too many other places, so don't forget about that, DICE. Lean into that. That's something you have that's special there. Don't leave that out like you're doing here in your trailers if you have it there. And if you don't have it there, that's going to be a bummer, man. We got to keep moving things forward, everything forward. I don't know if they are wanting to leave something out to give them something to improve on next time to sell their next game. I don't know why they can't keep everything they had in the previous games and keep building upon that. If the destruction's going to take a step back, we've seen them do it before. Battlefield Bad Company 2 seemed to have more detailed destruction than the next game in the series, Battlefield 3. Why was that? I think because Battlefield 4 were bigger maps than Battlefield Bad Company 2, so maybe it didn't give them enough resources to get as detailed with the destruction when you're adding more vehicles and stuff like that. It seems like a very similar situation to what we have on our hands here. The maps are getting bigger now from what they were in Battlefield 5. Things are getting bigger and bigger. Maybe the little details like destruction and crumbling buildings and everything like that maybe had to take a back seat. I can see history repeating itself. Was Battlefield 4 a great game? Sure it was. Could it have used some more detailed destruction? Sure, but it was still a great game. Was Battlefield 5 that great of a game? I think it was a good game, but I think it'd be so much better if they just had more vehicle variety. That's easy. Okay, they got that down. That really saved that game. And the only in Battlefield moments weren't always there, but it did have that destruction keeping it together. Like, wow, this is really something special. You don't see this in a lot of games. Look at this. This feels real. This is something cool. This is something new. Maybe this was just a bad map to show off. You got a lot of big skyscrapers, so they're not going to have the structure of the map torn down completely. You can't take these whole buildings down, but there's got to be a shed or a smaller building somewhere around the city that we can tear apart for this gameplay trailer to show fans that we aren't Call of Duty, we're Battlefield. We've got detailed destruction. I watched the cinematic trailer. Not one building got destroyed. Gameplay trailer. Not one building got destroyed. Not one wall. What the heck is going on? In the cinematic trailer, you got some kind of like cell phone tower or something gets knocked over, but not a structure getting torn down to rubble like it's supposed to, like like it's been doing. That's one of the main pillars of Battlefield. So if one of your main pillars is taken out, we might see Battlefield start to crumble. We might see a collapse here. Large scale battles is one pillar. Vehicle variety, high action, and destruction. Take a pillar out. Table can't stand on 3 legs, guys. Don't do it to us now. Please don't try to be Call of Duty Battlefield. Don't get confused about what you have. Don't think just because Warzone outsold, it's because you don't need your destruction. You don't need your detail no more. Don't think that fans don't care about that. They played Warzone because it was free, and they don't know no better. Battlefield, keep the quality, keep the detail, keep that stuff in there. That stuff really does matter, guys. If there's just one example of this destruction in the cinematic trailer and not in the gameplay trailer, I could say, okay, this is just this map. They didn't have enough time to show that off. We're going to get to that later. Maybe they're going to get to it later, but that's not how they've operated in the past. They have made a point to show this destruction already, guys. I just have a really bad feeling about this. I don't know what they're thinking. If it's there, show it, guys. Either you need to market your game better or add more destruction to it. If it ain't there, I'm really going to be curious to see, like I said, EA Play. And I've watched through these trailers in slow mode, half speed. I've seen them time and time again, eyes peeled, man. Just, okay, let me see a wall get busted up. Let me see something that is usually there. Are you trying to beat Call of Duty? Or are you trying to be Call of Duty? Battlefield has always had better physics than Call of Duty. You don't want to be Call of Duty. There's a lot of great things about this 2042. Seen a lot of good things, but please, let's get it all in there. If there's another trailer you're going to release, show it. Show something. Show a wall. Show something getting blown up. And until next time, this has been Rusty Pfluger. Rusty Pfluger, over and out.